Give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video, and leave a comment. We respect your opinion. Thank you. Nope, no cooking today. What we're going to do is talk a little bit about, and it's fairly easy, is the lubrication of zippers on your backpacks, outdoor gear, things of that nature. Some people say just go ahead and spray WD-40. Well, first of all, WD-40 is not a lubricant. It's a solvent. But anyway, if you did that, you would just go ahead and stain all the rest of this up here. I just got done dyeing this here several weeks ago, and I don't want to get it all stained up with anything like that. Besides, I have an easier way for you. You can go ahead and lubricate zippers fairly easy. You can use olive oil. This is extra virgin. We buy a lot of this. It's good for you. But anyway, you can use olive oil. You want to be careful with food smells or anything like that, because if you go ahead and lubricate the zipper, let's say you go ahead and use olive oil, or you use a PAM lubricant that you go ahead and spray the skillets with, or some other thing like that, and cook with them. Those food smells will be on your zipper and on your pack. And then when you set your pack down, or even if you put it in a tree and suspend it from a tree, like most people do, bushcrafters out there in the woods, little chipmunks or squirrels will come down and munch on all this and tear it up. That's going to ruin your whole day, because it's going to cost a lot of money to replace that zipper. But what you do is you can take some olive oil, go along here, and right here in the zipper itself, you can go ahead, some good pieces. Now you want to make sure there's no filaments from the cotton swab plugging that up, and keep these clean. It's where a lot of problems will develop. After you lubricate the zipper, over a period of time, after you use it, you're out in the woods, you come back, always try to make sure that the zipper itself is clean, not a lot of dirt, leaves, or things like that adhering to it. But you can go ahead and do that, and it works very well. Usually, too, in these bigger YKK zippers, you got to make sure everything's lined up easy for it to pull easy. And that works just great. You can do that. Lip balm, the same thing. No flavored lip balm used to go ahead and lubricate the zippers, because if you do go out in the woods a lot and there's chipmunks out there, they're going to munch, munch, munch and destroy all that. You don't want that. This is the Molly 2-pack that I dyed. Now, another thing you can use to go ahead and lubricate this is high dielectric silicone grease. And you have to be careful with this. This here will also stain. You just squeeze some out. You put it on a cotton swab. And it's going to be thick. And then you just rub it along. And you work it back in to the zipper. A graphite pencil, too, will work. You just take that pencil, graphite pencil, you just rub it back and forth across there and work that zipper a little bit. It will work fine. Beeswax and things like that will work, but what will happen is that wax will harden up. Then when you go use your zipper a little bit, it'd be more difficult to use. Plus, it creates a big mess on the inside of your pack and on the outside of your pack here. And what I mean by mess is, because again, it hardens up, there's little flakes all over the place. And you got to keep that clean. There are other lubricants that you can use. I'll show some pictures of them, and whether or not you want to buy them or not, that's up to you. they cost a lot of money. You could use olive oil, silicone-based high dielectric grease, which is pure silicone, by the way. You could use a few other items that you can get at a local store or you have around the home. You want to be careful of the sprays that you have because, again, if you have a real nice looking backpack, whether it be for school or what have you, and you spray it, it's going to soak into that fabric and stain it. You don't want to do that. Here's another pack that I dyed. You like that dye color? Oh, that's nice. That's nice dye there. Now this zipper here still works fine. Really nice. Really easy. But again, on these larger zippers, you can just wet up the Q-tip, or a cotton swab. Make sure there's no fibers on there. Put some down in here. Work it a little bit. Now you can take your time and do all of this pretty quick. But I'm just trying to hurry up and show you right here. And that will work great. Now once this is zipped shut, you can come back, preferably with a rag, not necessarily a paper towel, but just kind of dab that if there's any extra there. Make sure that doesn't go ahead and attract more dust and dirt and grime. And that will work. Because a lot of times if you're in a hurry or it's cold out, your hands are cold, you're trying to get in your pack and get supplies you need to get warmed up, it's difficult. Make it easy for you, just like this. That's the way they should work, just like that. Now, when it comes to smaller zippers, such as this smaller teeth zippers, always lacking room, always lacking room. You can do the same thing. But if you can imagine any sprays, you're going to go ahead and stain this fabric. You don't want to do that. So you could use a little bit of that olive oil or get some of the commercial products if you want and do that. Now, anything thick that you use may interfere with this zipper staying together once it's up. The reason why you want to use olive oil is because that will not tear up the plastic. There are some lubricants out there that will tear up plastic. It will go ahead and soften it, then it won't adhere anymore. These larger YKK zippers and all the military packs, that's why I like them. They're almost indestructible. I mean, they can get messed up, but they're great. I hope these tips help you. If you need it in a hurry, just use some olive oil, or you could use that Pam spray that I talked about earlier. Go ahead and spray some of that in the cup. Go ahead and use that. Go ahead and dab it on. Work your zipper back and forth. That would make it work easy. One tip, if you use bar soap, it's a good idea, but if it rains, what happens to the soap? It could go ahead and stain, make a great big mess. Soap will work if you can keep it dry. A lot of things will work if you can keep it dry. A lot of times people will go ahead and use Vaseline. Vaseline's great. It will work, but the problem with Vaseline is it has a low drop point. In other words, that means that it will melt very easily and you'll have a big mess again. Just like when you're trying to make fire starters. A lot of people like to use the Vaseline and the cotton ball or the little cotton pad that you have. And that's nice, but boy, it's messy. And that's what will happen all up in here and all over. So keep that in mind.